Righto, so I probably look terrible. I've been up way too late doing way too much work making saddles as usual. But these are a couple of Gen 7 long rider saddles that are about to go to Australia, and I'm just going to basically talk you through what they are and how they work. So we'll start with this, which is the basic long rider package. We've got the two drink bottle holders on the front here. Each one of them is designed to hold a 1.5 litre water bottle. Now, the reason we made them for these is simply because when you're on the road for a long time, things get filthy. Camelbacks, you just can't keep them clean. They end up with goobies growing in them. Aluminium flasks, much the same. We find it's better to have disposable water bottles like that we sort of turn over every week or so. So we do recycle them, and then we put them in the recycling bin, but this way they keep nice and clean. So we've got our bags on the front here as well. These bags hold about 3 litres each and also have a medical pouch on them. They go over the horn just with a simple loop, and they are further secured with our lashing strap at the front here, which is also used to secure our raincoats and things over the front of the saddle. Now, the idea is that the weight from these is put down through the saddle tree and not through the withers or over the horse's neck. So they tie in very nicely here, and it's all clear of the withers, and the weight is, again, it's coming down through the tree. So then we've got the rear bags. So the idea with the rear bags is that they go over the cantle and behind it there, and all of that weight is put down through the saddle tree. So again, the whole idea with these saddles is that any weight that's on the horse is put down as evenly as possible throughout the saddle support area and nowhere else. So you can see our roll bag behind the back of the saddle here, that's secured with these clips. And as you can see, it's doubled over, so you can really do that up nice and tight, and these really do not move. A bag that wobbles around on the back, okay, that'll twist the saddle. You'll get rubs at the rear of the saddle, and it can also put pressure on the withers. So we want that nice and secure. So that's our roll bag on the back. There's a bit of fluff coming off because this is all brand new. And the bags simply go like that. Now the beauty of the bags going straight over the cantle like that, they aren't secured to anything. Jill, really? Jill, please, I'm making a video, darling. Can you go in your basket? My apologies. The idea being that you weigh them with the scales, get them as even as possible, and they'll self-right themselves. So if you're tying something on or have it underneath, they'll always slip left or right. These won't, they'll always come back to the middle. Inside them, we have the submersible bags. So you can have your laptop, your phone, battery chargers, everything in these, and they'll stay nice and dry. So we'll go on to the saddle itself. The saddle weighs, it depends, between 1.5 and 2 kilos. This saddle body weighs 1.7 kilos. It's got neoprene padding on it here, just keep your bum a bit more comfortable. And it's got a sheepskin which velcros in place straight over the top. So this can come off, but underneath we have, as you can see, a beautiful wide channel. You can see my hand fits up. It looks narrower, but that's, comes apart. So lovely wide channel. We've got a huge amount of spine clearance, so we get a lovely amount of airflow through here. Each one is made to fit the saddle support area of your horse. So you can see saddle support areas are nowhere near as big as people think they are. And at the back here, you see the platform is raised, so the roll bag, which is behind the saddle support area, is clear of the lumbar region of the spine, which is really, really important. There are no buckles, there are no clips, there are nothing on this that can break. Well, there's 2 crocodile clips here, which attach the breastplate, but that's not really under any strain. I don't use buckles because buckles can break. I don't use leather because leather doesn't show its wear, it just snaps. Everything is secured with nylon, just with a simple tie cinch, and this nylon really shows its wear, and that can be replaced absolutely anywhere in the world. So if we need to adjust the saddles, the pads come straight off, and you can just use a neoprene shim, you can use a pair of socks, you can use anything you need to get yourself that full panel contact throughout the saddle support area. Very light, very strong, very simple. Stirrups are just simple cage stirrups. I've added these myself because I find everything just breaks. So these are sewn on with stainless steel screws and very heavy cord. and I just use biothane stirrup leathers. These are very strong. I find they don't stretch, and that's one problem you'll find with leather. Leather can stretch a lot easier. So the girths, we use twin girths. The girths are made by us. They're all mohair. Very easy to keep clean. We wash ours once every week or two, well, as often as possible, and we have never had any problems at all. Now they're secured by front and rear girths. So there's two rear girths, and we recommend both girths are done up as tightly as each other. So they don't need to be really tight, so long as they're both the same degree of tightness. Now the reason being, that stops the saddle tilting forwards, so we don't get pressure on the withers or fore-end pressure. It keeps that really, really even right across the saddle support area. So I think I've covered pretty much most of that stuff. Now under that we have, this is going to Australia where it's a lot hotter, so we don't have as thick a bedding blanket, but we've got a pure wool blanket that folds out, and the reason it's orange is so that it can be visible. Now because it's Australia, orange might not necessarily work very well because red dirt. So we have a green one as well. So you've got two different colours that can be used to signal with, and that becomes your bed. Underneath that, we have a light sheepskin, and we've found that nothing keeps a horse's back cooler than a light sheepskin or deerskin. This is going to last a lot longer, so we've got that. And combined with that, that just gives us the perfect amount of padding for the horse while it's cruising along. Now, this particular package is going to someone that's going to do a very, very long ride, the entire east coast of Australia. So he's going to take two horses. One of them's going to be his pack horse, one of them's going to be his riding horse. Now as a result, he's got two saddles, one for each specific horse. Now both horses are slightly different shapes. It's the same seat because it's the same rider, but the underside of these saddles is actually quite different from one another. They have the same girthing system, pretty much everything's interchangeable, and we have these additional pack saddle bags. Now the pack saddle bags weigh a total of 1.75 kilos, so 1 3/4 kilos, what's that, about 4 pounds. So they're very light, but they're incredibly strong. Now what I've done to keep them as strong as possible is they have basically a strap that goes the entire way around that stops the bag from splitting open and tearing itself apart. It's got another one of them here and another one here. It's got some clips as well to hold it all in place. It's just got a pillow in it so you can see what it looks like. And these simply tie on up the top there, so the bag is not basically pulling itself away from these secure points. It locks itself in and is nice and secure. Now in order to stop it bouncing on the side of the horse, these do have a girth that goes underneath them. The girth comes straight through from the other side. You see it's just secured with the same simple cinch, and that holds the bags nice and neatly in place. They also have clips here if you want to secure something over the top. And what I've done is I've just flopped the stirrups underneath the sheepskin. So basically this means that we can have our rider in these all day Monday. On Tuesday he wants to switch his riding horse to his pack horse, and it's as simple as unclipping, putting it over the horn of the next saddle, clipping that in, doing up the girth underneath. Sorry, this is going to fall off the table, fall off the chair. That's how we can swap a pack saddle between horses and have both horses in a fitted saddle. So obviously the better the saddle fits the horse, the less likely you are to damage it. We would recommend riding with less weight on the pack horse, give it a bit of a break, and be aware that static weight, like dead weight like this, actually is quite bad on the horse. So being able to switch backwards and forwards so easily, it really is, I think, probably the most ethical way to ride a pair of horses on a long journey. These are our long rider saddles. We've got a heap more saddles coming. We've got archery saddles, we've got a hybrid dressage saddle, we've got barrel racing saddles, we've got trail saddles, we've got endurance saddles, we've got all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it's been a long journey to get here. Another feature of these I should cover. We've got a couple of stirrup positions, and you can either have your stirrups a bit further back or further forwards, and you can also move the billet point. So this is one where I've secured the stirrups further back from the billets. I like to have the billets closer to the front, and on this one can see, I've got the stirrups in that further forward position, and I've also got the billets in the same place. I do like to have a bit of swing where I tie my girth on as well. I find that really helps the horse out. So yeah, so these are the long rider saddles. The other thing I was going to show is the drink bottle holders. They're really firmly secured now underneath the saddle, so they really don't rub too much, they don't bounce around, and they can be a little annoying just on your knees after like 10 hours, but I've fixed and improved that. So yeah, really excited about these. If you'd like to have a look at some, you're welcome to come and join us here in Bavaria, or we've got a few test ones that we can send around Europe, but no further than that, sorry. Anyway, that's us. Cheers.